what was the point of that big wedding? What was the point? Why? Why would he take him like 40 days after our wedding? What was the point? I was angry at God. I am still angry at God. That I won't lie. And when people say you don't ask God, I still ask him question until now. What? What were you trying to say? Unajaribu kujionyesha aje? And then I go to this hospital, which is a private hospital, which I'm left on the bed to bleed for over 2 hours without being attended. That was traumatizing, because that is when I knew I've lost the baby, even before I went to the ob scan. I am there even asking the daktari unisaidia nisikufie kwa hii kitanda. She's a lady. She didn't even care. So my dad went to the doctor, akamwambia, please be graceful with my daughter. She just lost her husband. So the doctor told my dad what happened, that I had already miscarriaged. My name is Salome Wairimo. Wahome is my dad's name, but my husband was Macharia. His name was John Macharia Nderito. Dated for 2 years. Got married this year, January 4, 2025. But then he died, or he passed away through an accident when he was coming back from work. He was coming actually for Valentine's. He died on 13th of February 2025. On the day of his postmortem, on 17th of February 2025, I lost my pregnancy because of the trauma and everything that was happening. Out of all those events that has happened in my life in a span of a very short time, it has changed me a lot. I'm one of a joyful person, or very talkative person to say, but due to all this, learning that life can change within a little bit of time, it has changed me as a person. I'm not the same I was before all this. Born and raised in a town in Laikipia County called Nyahururu. Both parents, and I'm a firstborn of 5. And I'm 25 years old. I can't complain about my childhood. I had the best of childhood experiences. I have the most happiest parents. They are still in marriage, a very happy marriage too. So I had a very good example in my childhood. And the fact that me and my siblings, we have a difference of 3 years, they are my best friends. I went to Jaramogi Oginga Odinga University of Science and Technology, where I did my computer security and forensics degree. And, campus, you have to experience everything. That's where you learn good things and bad things, actually. And I actually had a relationship with a different person for a period of 3 years. So I think he found something closer around his area. So he opted to stick with that. And me, I left. The breakup actually happened before my graduation. Actually, on the week of my graduation. That was nasty. Yes. I found out that night after my graduation. So we had an occasion, the one at home. When you graduate, there's an occasion. It was to be on the next weekend, the coming weekend. He was actually to come to that occasion, and I introduced him to my parents. It was that bad. So that week that I'm supposed to be happy, I've graduated, I have plans and all that, I was crying in my bed. So after the breakup, I decided I'm not dating, because that is what everybody think. They won't date again. And then on 14th of April, the same year, because my graduation was actually in the beginning of March, the end of the other relationship. So I think nearly did dust for only 1 month, but not actually dusting myself. because when I met him, we didn't actually date that time. We dated way later in my the other relationship. So on 14th of April, we met with John. And it's not like we had planned to meet. I was actually at work, left work, went to where? I went to the bank because I was planning to remove the ceiling at our home and put a new one as a gift to my parents for their wedding anniversary. They were not around, so I wanted to do that secretly, surprise them when they come home. So I was in the bank to process my bank ATM and all that so that I can be able to withdraw my money the following day so that we can start the building and all that. And I was there, my friend, Kigo, or Jen, who's seated next to you, called me. And she told me, tuko Nyahururu, can you come, we have lunch? And I'm like, it's okay, because they always hang out as a group and they're always fun to hang out with. So we went and had lunch. They were already there, so I came a bit late so that I was to finish with the bank issues. So when I went for lunch, I met all of them, and that is when I met John. I knew him through stories from Kigo because they were friends, but that's when we met. And from his mouth, he said when he saw me, he knew. That's it. So, and we had lunch and we talked. He actually told me anakwanga driver lorry, which was a lie. And I told him, I know you. I know who you are. I know your job. And I'm like, when? How? And I say, through Kiga is my friend and she tells me about everybody she knows. I'm like, okay. So the lie stopped there. And actually we were seated together at the same place. I told him I'm actually interested in what you do because my career is somehow related to, he's a military man. He was a military man, that's it. My career is actually related to a lot of what they do. He started showing me the videos of them in shooting range, them doing CQB. And I was so interested because I was so passionate in that. And I told him, how do you know like I'm this passionate with this? He was like, no, mi sinakuonyesha tu kwa sababu ushasema ushajua mi ni nani. I'm like, okay. And that, I think we shared, I don't know how we shared contact. Yeah, I think we shared contact. He texted me when I was in church. And he told me he wants to meet me before he goes back to work. Because at the moment he was deployed in northeastern regions. I told him, okay, we will meet. So we were to meet on Monday, and then on Monday he was nowhere to be found. He didn't call me, didn't text me. So I sikushughulika because I was not even there. I was not even the one who wanted to meet him. He wanted to meet me. That happened Monday. He called me Monday, he texted me on Monday night and he told me nilikuwa job na lorry. His dad has a lorry, so he does those movements. Na lorry ya dad, and where I went, it rained so much. My phone was off the whole time. It's okay. Can we meet tomorrow? Now the Tuesday. Nikamwambia, I will be busy tomorrow, but it's okay. I'll find some time. We meet. Aniambia, what do you mean you're busy tomorrow? Nikamwambia, I am trying to do something at home. What are you doing at home? Nikamwambia, naeka ceiling home kwetu. You mean at your age you're doing such things? Nikamwambia, yeah. What am I supposed to? People don't think about such things. As a young girl, you don't think of doing such things. Nah, it's something I'd planned and I wanted to do it. That's so good of you. Okay. So in Tuesday morning, we went with Fundi, did shopping and all that, took them home. As they were doing what they were doing, I went back to work. When I was at work, he came at work. He came with actually gifts. The purpose of the gifts was because of what I'm doing for my parents. He said, because you're gifting your parents, I'm going to gift you too. God, that was so sweet. Yeah, okay. So that happened. And then he left. He was actually leaving that day because he came, took the car back home, took a matatu to town, and then came to Nairobi, and then traveled to Northeastern. So since then, that's when we started talking. So we actually knew each other with the distance. It was now always phone call, video calls, texting, which was so good. I think it was so good. It was a nice experience knowing somebody when he's not there around you. He was there for 3 months, where he was before he's given another pass to come back home. And 3 months, people talking on phone for 3 good months and doing nothing else. Utamjua inside, outside. You'll know mamake. You'll know every detail of his life. In those 3 months, I knew what he wanted. I really knew what he wanted. And he was not playing. He was not heading for dating. He was going for marriage. I knew. I had a feeling this is not the normal dating situation. This is something different. Even in actions. Now and then, there was a time he called me 1 month into talking. He told me, I wanted to go to this shop. Kuna vitu, they are there. I want you to take them to my mom. You take them to stage, ziende kwa mom. Ni sawa. So see me, I went to the shop. I found a lady there. She told me, nikamwambia nimetumwa nikujie vitu hapa. Alileta nguo ziko hapo, akaniambia jana ameniambia ujipime hizi ni zako. What is happening? Okay. So he's planning from miles away to do things for me when I'm just around. That was so sweet. That is when I learned, okay, now I know what you want. Still on phone, he said he was expressing what he's feeling, rather than feeling what he wanted. And what he knew, he actually told me, I know I'll be a very great person if I have you in my life. That is what he said. And he actually said, I'm actually now, when I'm planning my things right now, when I'm planning my life right now, I see I'm supposed to invest in you so that you can make us great. Yeah. That is what he said. And that was serious though. But then I found it so sweet because somebody who's planning to grow, he's planning to go extent and all that, and he's planning to do that through you. Not everybody who does that. People are selfish out here. That's not normal. Though in our first meeting, I told him, I nimeona kitu. There's something I've seen in your eyes. You're a comedian to everybody, but you have things going through. And you're like, how did you know? I said, no. Me, I've just seen in your eyes. You're not being authentic. The comics you have, they're not authentic. You have some dark parts. And I was like, probably it's the job I do and experiences. I was like, okay. So in our talking, I told him, I have a friend who is my workmate. Her name is Evan. So he told me, can I have her number? I said, it's okay. So I gave him Evan's number. So in August, one of those days, Evan's grandmother was sick. Evan called me, akaniambia, you take me to the hospital. I need to go and see Shosho. Okay. So I left. I went to Evan's shop. She has a shop of clothes and all that, and bags and such things. I went to her shop. When I was in that shop, he appeared. It was a surprise and all that. And he came with a ring and he asked if I would be his girlfriend. He did that, and then we went to some hotel in around the area. We went there with also Ebins and hung out and eat and just, it was a good day. August, he was there we always come home for only 2 weeks and then they go back. In the 2 weeks, we hung out a lot when he was around. And actually in the 2 weeks, I met his mom. He took me to his home. I'm the one who cooked. Mom was working. She was in her shop. She has a shop there in Algeria Rock. I was at his home. I cooked. After cooking, we went to the shop. We picked Mom and her friends. And then after that, that's when he told me, is it okay when I come back again, I meet your dad? I meet your parents? And I was like, okay. I have to talk to them about that. They even don't know I know how to date. I know how to be in a relationship. Yeah. I went to my dad. He's actually my best friend. I don't think I could tell my mom directly, so I told my dad so that he can tell my mom. Kamambia, no, what did I do? I called him. Kamambia, kwa ofisi akaniambia he has a hotel in Nyahururu town. So I went to his office and told him. I called him. I was in his shop actually. No, I was not in his shop. I was in where I was working. I was working in a hospital there in Nyahururu. So I called him. Ambia kwa ofisi akaniambia, ambia sawa nakuja, kuna kitu nataka kuambia. Ambia sawa. Kaenda kwa ofisi yake. It was difficult. It was difficult. Kamangalia nikamwambia, Daddy, I have a boyfriend. Who is he? Where is he from? Ni wa wapi? Babake ndani? Babake wazazi. Kaambia na nataka kuja kukuona Oktoba. Kasema sawa basi. I'll do my investigation. Jioni, my mom was there waiting for me to tell her because already ashaambiwa na the husband. Kuna kitu nafaa uniambie? Nikamwambia kitu gani? Ni nini uliambia dadi? Nikamwambia hivyo. Anaitwa nani? So I had to repeat all those questions again with my mom. And then the following day we had a meeting with both of them. Already my dad he's that protective man. He has done already his investigations and actually remember I'm the first daughter. Their honeymoon baby. So yeah, they went and did the investigations and they were Amka related. Because you have family in that town. You have to do investigations to confirm if you're related or not. Nimesikia ni wapi and all that. Nishaambiwa yote. Okay, sawa. Nakuja Oktoba. Sawa basi. So I went and I called John, told him, nimeambia wazazi already now. It's you and the planning. Yeah, October when he came, they came home. They came him, his cousin, and also uncle and friend, a group of maybe 8 people. October akakuja holiday. He actually didn't go back to Northeastern. Akakuja Nairobi to do some course. So he was around. He was now not that far away. He was in Nairobi. That was October, November, December. Yes. And then I got an internship with the city authority. So I had to move now from home to Nairobi. And that year also, he was not deploying. 2024 now, he was not deploying. So he was also in Nairobi. So that's when I moved in Utawala. In February, now is the meeting parents. Now, their parents, they come to our home. So they came to our home in February and they planned for now Rorasho. Nakumbuka in 2 weeks, it was ilikuwa planning ya 2 weeks. Watu washoneshe nguo in 2 weeks. Sijui all those planning. It happened actually in 2 weeks and people showed up and it happened and everybody thought we were fooling them because it was April Fool's Day until it happened and they were like, kumbe ilikuwa ukweli. Now the planning of the wedding started and all that and then the wedding was in January. Date 4. The wedding day is actually not that crazy as people think. The days before the wedding are the crazy days. So that morning, I was actually very happy because I was actually getting married to my best friend. Because in the beginning of this relationship, we started with communication. So we always talk. You're not somebody that you're learning how to talk to. Our thing was talking every time. And he wouldn't go through things and don't talk. So I knew, other than getting married, I am getting blessings for being with my friend, my best friend. That was what made me happy. The whole time, I was actually happy. I was the one asking people, umekula? Umeshiba? Uko sawa? Umeoga? What's when uoge? Unafaa kufanywa makeup? That was me that morning. And I called him. I actually called him that morning. I was like, unafeel aje? Kaambia, we, niko anxious. Kaambia, ni sawa basi. Kaambia, ni sawa, tufanye hii kitu tumalizane nayo. Kasema, it's okay. I knew I'll grow. Not only because in that period of 2 years we've dated, I grew so much as a person. To a point that I was like, I'm too mature for my age. What I envisioned most is just growing together, nothing more. Just growing together in our careers and also in our dreams and goals. Because other than him supporting my goals and dreams, I was also supporting what he wants in life. When you're saying your vows, normally at hizo parts that are paid for you, you say it faster. It's okay. They're just vows. But I didn't know. Actually, I always say I wish I knew, though. Because until now, it is not till death do us part. Because I'm still so much in love with him. Till now. I don't think we've parted. We're still together. We didn't have that much time together after the wedding. We actually had only 1 week. Yeah, because he had to deploy back to Northeastern. He was going to Garissa. So after the wedding, that was Saturday. Sunday, Monday, we came back to Nairobi. We traveled back to Nairobi. He reported back to work on Tuesday. He happened to Nairobi. So it was just a normal day of work. At the moment, I was not working because my contract had ended. So I was just in the house. We always have a good time together. So every day is a good time when you're together. So on Thursday, he was given permission to come back home, to come and not go job. Haendi job Thursday, Friday, hakuenda. Because apparently they told him, because you're newlywed, before we deploy, you go home to tumekupea ruhusa from Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, you come back job Wednesday. That Wednesday ndo walikuwa na travel wote back to going to Garissa, all of them, the whole team. On Saturday in the morning, they got a call. Actually, they'll be traveling on Sunday in the morning at 4 a.m. Those days that we were supposed to spend, one of his friends told me he was actually booking a ticket to go to Mombasa. Because you see, we haven't gotten our honeymoon. So walikuwa wamepanga na yeye amsaidie venye kunachukuliangwa ticket and all that. To travel hizo siku 5 amepewa. And then akirudi ndo waende job. But that did not happen because wameambiwa wana travel Sunday asubuhi at 4 a.m. Now, you see, he was home only on Thursday, Friday, Saturday night. I actually took him to Embakasi kwa kambi. I took him there. I even told one of his friends, his best friend, I told him, najua namchunganga, but please take good care of him. He told me, I'll always take care of him. I'm always watching his 6. Like, that's nice. Okay, sawa. Kwaheri. And I went back to the house. I didn't know. It was kwaheri forever. Something. I have never actually taken him when he's going to work. Sijaimpeleka kambi. That was actually the first time nimempeleka. So I think there were signs and I didn't know. Yeah. And one thing I remember, which is very painful for me, I've never done this. So when we were living in the house, I took his hand. Nikamshika, nikasema I need to pray. So I told God, Mungu venye nimekupatia mwanaume ende kazi, mrudishe tu venye yako. And I cried. I don't know why I cried. And after that prayer, he actually went back to, he said amesahau kitu, akakimbia kwa nyuma. Me, I was outside. So when I came back to the house, I found him scribbled some words in a book tulikuwa tumepewa kwa harusi, which was very sweet when I found it. Now and then, I was having some pains in my stomach. So they told me, si utest, umenyesha. Kaambia bado. Si you test for pregnant? Man, I'm not pregnant. You just test it. And I'm not pregnant, si test. So they forced me, we went for the kids. And then it happened, I was pregnant. That was that February, as I said. Then it came out, I'm pregnant. And it was good because this was the child of after the harusi. So I called him. Nilimtext nikamwambia, can I call you right now? Akaniambia, you can't call me right now because tuko kwa brief meeting. Jo tuko na kazi tunaenda right now. Nikamwambia, I need to call you. I need to video call you. Akaniambia, it cannot be possible. Please tell me what is it? What's going on? Are you okay? Because I told him I'm not feeling well. Akaniambia, are you okay? Do you need to go to the hospital? Akaniambia, no, but I need to tell you something. Akaniuliza, what? Akaniambia, nikamwambia, okay, now let me text you about it. Nikamtumia picha ya those kids. Akaniuliza, hizi ni nini? Nikamwambia, ni pregnancy test. Akaniuliza, inasema nini? Nikamwambia, inasema it's positive. Akalisema, oh my God, that is what he said. And then he was so excited about it. He said, no, you've made me the happiest guy right now, and nitakuwa na smile the whole time kwa your job. Okay, and then let me go and then we'll talk after. What do you need, Kam? And I need to go to the hospital tomorrow. And I said, that's okay, I'll plan for that. And forward, I went to the hospital. Nikafanyiwa ob scan. I sent him. I was actually, I think 6 weeks or 5 weeks up. I think it was 5 weeks. And on 9th February, because of how happy he was, he sent me some money and he told me, I want you to take, I want to take some of that money to the church as a Thanksgiving. Kamwambia, okay. So I took the money and he actually sent his mom and dad that money too. Some money too. I came to learn later. Aliwatumia pesa, kaambia hiyo nataka mwende mpeleke kanisa kama shukrani. And during that period when I told him I'm pregnant, he called his sister yake firstborn wao. She's in the US. And also told Ebin, you remember Ebin? Akaambia, Ebin, I need you to take care of Sally because Ebin already has a baby. So anajua all those things. I need you to take care of Sally because this and this, she's pregnant. And okay. So 9th is when? 9th what happened is the church day yenye tulitoa sadaka. Yeah, and God took him before that. 9th, 10th, 11th, died on 13th. So akuona Sunday ingine. Those pains still ziko kwa naumia. But I was feeling some pain now and then. And I decided I have to go back to the hospital. That was on 12th in the evening. So I was going, because I'm published, I'm a published wife of a military, I can receive medication in the camp. They have hospitals there. So I went to the hospital. It was actually in the evening. So they told me, saizi hauwezi pata daktari, so just come back the following day. So that's when I decided I'll go the following day. So during the night, because I was so scared, I called him and told him, I think mi naona nikienda hospitali kesho, I need to go back home. Kwa sababu najua home, mama atanipikia and I'm not alone in the house. Nitakuwa na mom home. Akaniambia, actually that's a very good idea ya kwenda home badala ya kukaa Nairobi peke yako. Sawa. So on 13th in the morning, he's the one who actually booked me at the gate because I didn't have a gate pass by then. I went to the hospital, nikapata checkup and I was okay. And from there, I took an Uber to town and picked a matatu to home. So we always talk kwa simu. So he knew of all the movements I'm making. So nikamwambia nimepanda matatu, I'm heading to home. Akaniambia, that's okay, you're good, yeah. And now and then we're having conversation, and almost home there's a place called Olkalao. I called him. Nikamwambia niko Olkalao, call your friend, he has a boda guy friend. Ambia Kanderi anikujie nikifika kwa some stopover around there. Nikifika hapa ambia Kanderi anikujie. Akaniambia sawa. Nikamwambia au nipatie namba yake, I call him anikujie. Akasema hapana, ni mimi nitampigia akujie. Ambia okay, sawa. So Kanderi came and took me home. And when he took me home, I told Kanderi nikutumia no Jonathan sort. So I think they talked. So when nilifika home, I called him, I told him I'm already at home. And he told me, that's okay. What do you want to do? Nikamwambia, I want to sleep because I feel a little bit tired. Akaniambia, ewe lala, mama kifika ndo utaamka uwasalimie. Akaniambia, sawa. So nikamuuliza, kwani uko kwa gari? Because it sounded like he's in the car. Akaniambia, niko kwa gari. Nikamwambia, sawa, we safe journey, tutaongea. I love you. That's all. Then I went and slept. At around 6:30, mom akakuja home. And she cooked dinner, what. I tried calling him. His phone was going through, yes, but hakuwa anashika simu. And one of his friends actually called me. Akaniuliza, it was the one who was taking care of me when I go to the hospital. Mwenye ananisaidia, akaniuliza, ulisaidika leo? Nikamwambia, yes, nilisaidika. And uko wapi saa hii? Nikamwambia mimi niko home. Akaniambia, sawa. Phone ended. Another friend called him. Ati nilikuwa nataka mkijua sikuweza kukuja harusi yenu, I wanted nani akirudi kutoka deployment akuje tuchinje tukule mbuzi pamoja. Kaambia, it's okay, wewe utaniambia akikuja. Mtaniambia ndo that. Ngambia, okay. So at around 8 p.m, I called him. Still not picking my phone. I'm like, why is he not picking my phone? Then I texted him. Nikamwambia, baby, are you awake? Drew, we need to pray before we sleep. Not answered. So me, I slept. In the morning, when I woke up, I was restless. That was not normal. Something was happening. I didn't know what was happening, but I knew something was happening. And I called him. His phone was now off. So after calling him, it didn't even last 2 minutes. Anitaka niambia, we kuna wageni. Kamza, wageni wagani. Sasa everybody anako alert. And a Land Cruiser came. And the moment I saw that car, I knew this is not good news. And when I checked around, I saw these are army guys. And my husband is not around. He's not in this car. This is not a normal visit. So they came. It was a sad day. It was a bad day. It was not a good day. I won't say it was a good day. It was a very, very bad day. His boss, one of his bosses, is called Colonel Minor. He broke the news and he said he was coming home. It was on 13th in the evening. He boarded a bus. He was coming back to home so that he could be with you on 14th for Valentine, apparently. And on his way, 20 minutes from Garissa town, the bus got into an accident. And akaumia. His head was hit. He had an injury in the head. He was rushed to the hospital, but on arrival, he was dead already. We wish he died on duty. We thought that would be very easy for us. If he died on duty, probably tungesema it's normal, it happens. But then he died when he was coming home. And the reason why, he was actually the first people to be given permission to come home, because they knew he had a wedding and a Valentine. And he was actually not to be given 2 weeks, was to be given 3 weeks. So akapewa ruhusa, he come home for the Valentine, but he did not make it home. It was chaotic. I'll say it was chaotic. It was weird. That's the last thing I was expecting. Because death has never been close to me. I've never had an experience that's too close. So this being so directly next to me was very weird. It was not normal. Me, I felt it was very weird. The whole time I thought, in my mind, the whole time I thought it was a lie, obviously. It's a very big denial. And at the beginning of it, it's always the biggest denial. Actually, the last niliamini it happened, probably like last month. That's when I came to terms that he's not coming back. That's when I knew he's actually not coming back. And before that, I'm always texting him, "Hi, how are you? How are you doing?" Every time. So you can imagine how the beginning was. It was tough. It was actually tough in my mind because, first of all, you know that you don't know. First of all, our parents are very social people. They have a big crowd behind them. That's why our wedding was very graceful and very beautiful. And the moment people started coming into the compound, everybody was now knowing who had passed away. That is when it was like, wait, you mean it was happening? You mean ukweli? You mean it is true what they were saying? They were actually out. That's the moment people go crazy. Because mom alita watu na nduru. People didn't come through phone calls. They come through scream. Walikuja juu ya nduru ya mom. So the compound was full. Kabisa hivi. And all the soldiers, they had to tell each and everybody coming to the compound what happened, what has happened. Because they are coming at our juu wanakuja kuna nini. People even thought there is fire at home. People didn't know what was happening. And the fact that his wedding was actually a goodbye to a lot of people, no, that was more alarming. You get? Now, nobody knows what to tell you, and there I am seated, I'm like, wamekuja kufanya nini? What are they here for? So every time in my mind, I'm just watching people come in, and anybody significant, I will scream out when I see somebody come in. I called my friends telling them what happened. I actually called, I don't know if I called, did I call Jane? Did I call you? I called her and I was screaming out of my lungs and I was telling her, wanasema John amekufa. John mgani? Do you know the confusion in people? John mgani? John wangu, bwanangu, John wangu anasema amekufa. I called my dad, he was screaming out of his lungs. Because already my mom-in-law had called him already. In my mind, it was shameful though. To me, I was like, yani, Mungu ameamua aniaibishe. At the moment it was shame, because I was like, what was the point of that big word? What was the point? Why would he take him like 40 days after our wedding? What was the point? Si basi tungekaa basi bila hiyo harusi. Other than that, why was it necessary? Ama what was he trying to say? I was angry at God. I am still angry at God. That I won't lie. And when people say you don't ask God, I still ask him question until now. What were you trying to say? Unajaribu kujionyesha aje? I am a very religious person. I'm a Catholic, and my husband was PCA. Actually, it was two different churches coming together for a wedding. And he will not stop me going to church. He was always even taking me to church. So I was like, why am I serving you? Why have I always served you? I'm a very known Catholic member in our church, Utawala Holy Family. They came and sang into our wedding from all the way from Nairobi to Nyahururu. And also during the burial, they also came. And the whole time that I'm like, what's your point, God? Why should I always serve you? You know, normally people, they serve God because wazazi wamewapeleka kanisa. You go to church because of your parents. Me, I've grown up. I've gone through campus. I did not stop going to church because I loved it. I loved the vibe in church. It's such a cool vibe. I am still this old. I'm still serving you. I've done everything right. We were to do the wedding at the court, but we decided to get blessings from your altar. And then you take him like that. Are you making sense? Are you making sense? So I was very ashamed. I was like, oh, so even though watu wa Mungu anafanyanga. I normally viewed life as a very beautiful gift we were given by God. And right now, I feel like, until now, I don't want to be in it. It's not fun at all. Because we will just die one day. Even you grind, no matter how you plan your plans, no matter how high you dream your dreams. After dreaming and after not even achieving those dreams, you will just die. So I lost that sense of living. Right now, I'm just moving. You get? I'm just there. I'll attend an event. I'll be happy at the moment. But now, I'm not even anxious of, I don't want anything. I just want to be there. But earlier on, I was appreciating those moments. Right now, I'm not. So I lost that. Because the moment I'm alone in my house, that is when everything comes down and reality hits back that it happened. Everything has happened. And nothing is going to change. That is your forever. You just learn how to live with it. You don't move on, you just move with it. During those days, the first day and the first day actually, I was crying and then I stopped. I remember I have a baby in me. And this is the only thing I've been left with. And most of the time I was trying to protect it. So I was avoiding to cry a lot because I knew if I cry a lot, the baby will feel I'm stressed and it won't be okay. So most of the time I was protecting the baby. The following day we came to Nairobi for the viewing. He was transported from Garissa through air to Nairobi. He was taken to Defense Memorial. There's a funeral home there by the name Mashujaa. So we traveled to Nairobi and we came to the funeral home for viewing. And it was bad. It was really bad because it was not just an accident, as the boss has said. It was a very tragic and fatal accident. And that is when we learned now the truth of the story, because actually what the boss had said was trying to find a way to release the story to the parents, So they were 11 passengers in the bus. Ni basi yenye inaenda pick other people kwa barabara. The driver was actually who was out of the line with the bus, and there was an incoming lorry. So when he was trying to escaping from the lorry, ikaingia kwa pothole, and then it rolled a lot of times. There were 4 guys from the military, the ones they were working with, and the rest are the passengers. When the accident happened, that's when they started, they look for each other, brothers, because they have served together. They are actually not just military, they're in the special forces. So they take care of one another. So you start looking for the other guys. So one of them was actually injured. Even they were all in the hospital when he went to the memorial hospital. They were there, all of them. 2 of them were at least okay. They were discharged that same day. And this one of them was actually way injured. He was even in theater that day we went for viewing. So they came to tell us the story, and they told us that the bus iliroll. When iliroll, John alitupwa nje. He was thrown outside of the bus. And he did not even die in the process of going to the hospital. He died on site, literally. He died there. Even before he was thrown outside, he was already dead. Yeah, so he was very much injured. His jaw was broken. His mouth was open. It was a difficult scene. It was a scene where a counselor is supposed to tell you you're going to see not the normal person you know, because they did not tell us to begin with. That was very wrong. So I actually even called one of them, ngombe, anakaje ako sawa, is he okay? Akaniambia, he's okay, you just go. So I went with the Nini, I'm going to see the John I know. So I'm there, and he's not him. He's not what I know. He's actually very different. And what made me know it is him, it is a mark he has in his head. He always have a mark this side here. That is what made me know it was John. It was tough. It was tough. And from there started having small bleeds. I think that was traumatizing for me. Other than dealing with grief, I'm also dealing with some trauma because of that. I started bleeding. But not so much, a little bit, because in the evening I went to the hospital and they told me that it is normal, the baby is okay, the positioning is okay. So I just have good rest and I'll be okay. So after the viewing, we went to Tawala, picked some few clothes because, I was not ready to stay at home for long. So after that, we traveled back home. And now Sunday is when everybody comes. People from my church at home, all of them come. People from PCA, everybody's there. Everybody was there. Now that from then is when I had to deal with it. On Monday, I was not supposed to come to Nairobi, but I had to because of legal things. They do right will and all that, so I had to come to Nairobi because apparently I am supposed to be there as the wife. So I had to travel. You remember, nilikuwa nimepewa bed rest. We traveled to Nairobi. And post-mortem, I actually signed even those papers for giving consent for post-mortem. So post-mortem happened. And it was bad. It was bad. Everything was broken. Everything was touched. The liver was touched. The heart had moved from its right position, where it's supposed to be. It may move. The spinal cord had separated from the head. down there. Everything, every internal organ was touched. So he didn't even have any chance to live. I think that stressed me out. And I stopped asking God why. Now I'm asking him, not why. You can take somebody in his sleep, but why just make him broken, avunjike to everywhere? And why? For what reason? What's the point? We left the postmortem, the legal things were done and all that. And we went to one of my aunt's place before we go back home. We eat supper and then we travel back home because we were both my in-laws, all of them, and my dad was there too, and some other family members. And when I was there, I told my the aunt, the host, I told her I need to rest kidogo because I feel some pain. After the postmortem, we went to buy dresses for the burial for my mom and mine. And after that, we went to the house. I asked her to sleep a little. I went and slept a little. But then I woke up. I went to the washroom and found a very big, some clot coming from. I'm bleeding. So I told them, no, you take me to the hospital. Rush me to the hospital. And we went to a private hospital in Kikuyu, which was nearby because it's an emergency situation. And we went there. My questions keep adding up, and I still keep asking God why some things do happen. Because I'm going through grief at the moment. And also trauma, because this is actually trauma. And then I go to this hospital, which is a private hospital, which I'm left on the bed to bleed for over 2 hours without being attended. All in the name of they are checking on insurances. I have the Defense Forces insurance. I have the SHA insurance. But actually they really wanted money, cash money. So the whole time wanasema they are processing this. But what they didn't want to say with their mouth, they want the cash. That was traumatizing. Because that is when I knew I've lost the baby, even before I went to the OB scan. Because already nime bleed on the bed for over 2 hours. Nobody's taking care of me. I am there even asking the daktari unisaidia nisikufe kwa hii kitanda. She's a lady. She didn't even care. She didn't. And I'm telling them, I kept telling them, kama ni pesa mnataka, si mtuambie. Si eti hatuna pesa, tutalipa kama ni pesa mnataka. So finally, after one of the parents aliwaambia, can we pay cash? That is when they decided they pay cash. Wakasema yeye lipeti basi cash juu hizi zina take time. After nimebleed kwa kitanda for that long. You know the worst thing is, I'm on the bed, I'm bleeding, yes. But this watoto wa shule, there were primary kids there walikuwa wamekuja for treatment. And they stayed in that hospital from 2 p.m. And that was 10 p.m. They are there. These people are not even giving me a blanket to put myself on. So I'm right here, I'm asking, no, watoto wanaona nini? Actually, my aunt is the principal of that primary school. That's why she noticed those children. I was like, see how niliwa release at nani? Hawajatibiwa bado. And it's a private hospital. You run to a private hospital because public hospital, they'll take their time. Ati hapo utashughulikiwa haraka, but that happened. I went to the OB scan. My dad was very mad at the time. He was just shouting all over. He was like, what is happening here? And then after we went for OB scan, after we've paid, that's when the results is with the doctor already. But the doctor is actually very busy. She doesn't want to come and tell me the results, what it is. So my dad went to the doctor, akamwambia, please be graceful with my daughter. She just lost her husband. Hata kama ni news gani tafadhali, please tell her with a little bit of grace. So the doctor told my dad what happened, that I had already miscarried. And My dad lost the grace to come and tell me, so he just walked away and left the room. The doctor came, and before she told me, I told her, najua ameenda, najua ametoka mtoto. Kaniambia, I'm sorry, but this has just happened. Nikamwambia ni sawa, nilijua ameenda, nilijua ametoka. So she left. My dad came. And I held my dad's hand and I told him, Dad, tafadhali niambie makosa yenye yote ushaifanya. Niambie makosa yote yenye ushaifanya. Juu mimi nimeangalia zangu. Sioni reason ya mbona Mungu anifanyie all this. And because my dad didn't know what to say, he just told me, Salome, I love you. Salome, I love you. Salome, my daughter, I love you so much. For the first time, I saw that man speechless, and he always have something to say. But for the first time, the only thing he had to say, the only thing he knew what to say. The only thing he felt or just saying was just, I love you, my daughter. I just love you. I love you so much, my daughter. That was the only thing he was saying. Those people, the doctors, those people in that hospital, they said I'm supposed to be admitted, and I have to go through that process of removing what has remained in my stomach, in my uterus. So my dad-in-law, he said, no, we cannot leave this child here. If this is what has happened for only just 3 hours, this is the experience we've had, what if we leave this child here? See, wanaweza mfanyia kitu, and then the next day we are coming for a body, not even our child. So they asked for a transfer because back in our home, Nyahururu, my mom works in a hospital called Benedict Hospital. She works there. So they said we have to travel with her. And then they were saying no, because actually they wanted the money, because they were asking for me to be admitted. We are supposed to give out 50,000. My dad said no, we need a transfer. She can travel. We can travel. Can you approve? She can travel. The doctor approved. I can travel. So we traveled through the night to Nyahururu. And when we went to Benedict Hospital, where my mom works, I was received with the best care that I know. I've worked in hospital, I know how you're supposed to be treated. I received the best care. Other than the best care, I received even VIP care because they know what is going on. They knew everything. Because my mom is a staff there. And I think the process was easier for me. And I felt a little bit of humanity in people when I'm going through grief. And that at least uplifted me, because at that moment, if somebody had something that can inject me, I die that time, that was a very good option for me. So the actual doctor, the physician, came for me through the door. She's the one who even undressed me, dressed me with hospital clothes, something that a doctor doesn't do. Only nurses do those works. And the fact that they allowed people to come and visit me in big numbers, and I was given a private room. I was given a room for myself only. At least I felt love from my people. Because actually, during lunchtime, ungepata more than 20 people inside my room. All my friends were just there, seated, watching me and stories and having fun. It's the week for burial, That's on Tuesday, I'm in hospital. And also Wednesday. Yes. No, I left Wednesday. I left Wednesday during the day. So it was Monday night, Tuesday, Wednesday I left during the day. Because I really had to go. Because I need to be there during all those processes. And me being there at that time at the hospital was very nice. I was really treated with kindness. And I was never alone in that room. The only time I was alone is when I needed to sleep. Day and night. They even allowed my sister, who follows me, her name is Eliza. She came and slept with me at the hospital. So it was not that bad. It was not bad at all, that is. And on Wednesday during the day, we went home because there was a mass back at Old Rock for just a mass, a requiem mass for him. And the mass happened. On Thursday was when everything is happening. There is a digging of the burial sites and all that. Also, his friends came from the military, and they spent the night there. And also on that Thursday, we had candle lighting and all that. And also we received him from Nairobi. He came with the military from Nairobi the same Thursday to Ol Kalou. There's a hospital there. There's a funeral home. And for the burial on Friday. So the burial happened on 21st February this year. You know, you sleep, you're out of this world, you're in another world, you're in dreamland and all that. And then when you wake up back to reality, I'm always confused. Wait, was this supposed to be my life? What went wrong somewhere? Was there anything that went wrong somewhere? Because this is not the life I chose or I will choose for myself. This was something I was handed over to. So I always wake up confused. And always wondering, will this ever end? Will all this trauma, all this pain, will it ever end? Some of the steps I took at the beginning, I was actually very suicidal. Not that I would do it, but mentally I was like, I don't want to be here because the family I was creating, I don't have it anymore, the whole of it. So I went to therapy. I went to some counseling called Acadian Counseling in Nakuru. And I met very good people, a very good therapist called Irene. Those sessions were so difficult for me. They're extremely very difficult. And, at some point, I felt that grief is beyond therapy. And I stopped going to the therapy. I said, nah, I need a break. And I stopped going to them. It is not that it was not impactful, it was the fact that it was very painful. Because in therapy, you have exercises you have to do. And facing those realities it's not easy. Because you go through step by step. And to me, it was so painful. I couldn't deal with it at that moment. The only thing I really want to do is just find sleep, which I've been trying to find sleep for a long time. Just find sleep and sleep the whole day and eat and just sleep again. That's what I really wanted. Not those exercises. They're too difficult. That's why I stopped them. What I told her before I leave, I don't know if I lied. I told her that I need a little bit of break and maybe after a month I'll be back. But I never went back. But I did not tell her that I felt like therapy is beyond grief. Grief is beyond therapy. I did not tell her. I just left. And then later this month, actually, not this month, in October, in September, I started therapy again with a different person. Is actually a sister, is a nun in Tangaza University. And I started back my therapy there. And I think right now I can cope with it because there have been some period of time where I've figured it out. I now need therapy again. Now I can talk it easily than before. My main point of going back to this therapy now was my spiritual part. Because since then, I've never prayed I've never even entered a church. And I sure felt some peace when I was in a church, you get. And I was trying to go to church, and I feel no, I'm not supposed to be here. So that was what prompted me going back to therapy, because I needed some spiritual guidance or something. I needed to know, how am I supposed to go back to God? Though I feel like He has done a lot of things that don't make sense. How am I supposed to? That's what prompted me going back to therapy. Right now, I've accepted He went and He's not coming back. How I started learning that I am easily accepting to the situation, it was through therapy. And one of the sessions, I had to really come to terms with it. I really had to come to terms that you saw he was not breathing. You saw he did not move in that casket. You get. And at the moment of the burial, I was not me. I was not there. I was something. I was something. I was just in the event. I actually don't know how it went. But the fact that technology is good sometimes, it was actually filmed, the whole of it, live streaming. So I went back and watched it. I had to rewatch it again, and I was like, wait, this happened, so this is true. So that's how I started accepting it, slowly by slowly. The fact that also there's no contact, there's no any other communication, and the only place I see him now and then is through dreams. That's how I started accepting it. So the day we met, I after that, when we were having a conversation, I told him I saw a bit of sadness in his eyes. He's very comical. He's laughing with everybody, but there's something there's something there. There's a little bit of sadness in your eyes. And he actually opened up, which is not very normal for them to open up. And mostly it was related to work. The work they do, the work they are not supposed even to share and all that. That was actually things that were going in his head. Some back trauma, some things they experience which are not normal, which are not even okay, which are not things you can process easily. So they carry it back to themselves later. So that was what was in his brain. And through that, actually, the thing that made us way closer is the fact that he was able to open up to me. And other than me judging or being scared and all that, I was actually talking him out of it. I was telling him, see, job to, things that could ease a lot of things in his head. Yeah. And I guess that's how he got very more comfortable with me, and that's how we thrived in our conversations, because he was very open into sharing his experiences. Some of the impacts I've got from going through therapy, it's one that I can be able to deal with some things that I didn't want to deal with. For example, accepting his death. Other than that, trying to figure out what I'm supposed to do with life. Because actually, as I mentioned, I was unemployed before his death and still am. And through therapy, I have learned that I am also supposed to deal with some things that I am trying to forget or not accept. Yeah, and also I've learned how to self-care and all that through therapy, yes. Because right now, it's about me, and maybe if I want to learn about life later or plan, it's maybe from next year. If there's something I'm very thankful for, Is God giving me a very good family. My family, immediate family, and also my in-laws. And other than that, the group of friends who are now family to me. I don't know. I would have dealt with some of the events if I didn't have them. And even not being be not even before not before, like even after burial, these people are still there. If I really want to do something small, something tiny, for example, if I want to plant flowers on the grave, they are always there, available to come and plant flowers. If they want, I just want them to come hang out. Actually, the first like 3 months, they were always, every evening wako nyumbani. Every evening they were there. Every evening, no matter what is happening in their life, they don't really care. They were there, home. They stay over. We eat stories, we play cards, we do that, and then they go home around 12 a.m. because by then they knew maybe nitakuwa nimeanza kupata usingizi. I don't know if I could have survived. They were exchanging shifts to take us to therapy to Nakuru, because from home to Nakuru is a distance of like 40 kilometers. So this one is taking us to therapy next week, next Friday, because we were going, me with my sister Anita, we were going for therapy. So they were always taking us to therapy. Those are friends. Those are people you keep forever. And not even during the burial or after the burial, even before, in our wedding, these people showed up. Actually, for example, like Ebin and the husband Limo, they were very significant in our wedding. They planned for it, the whole of it. They were the treasurer, the secretary, the everything of the wedding. During the wedding, they were also there the whole time. And after also. Remember, John called Ebin to tell him to take care of me. And till now, they have a child, they have everything in their hand, but they are always there. They will travel with their child to come to Nairobi and see me. You don't get people who are and they're just friends, who turn to family. Also, my friends around, for example, like Jane, who is here, if I tell her I am not okay, with also there's another lady called Tosh, she was not able to come today, but I'm not okay, she will leave all the way from where she is, hata kama ni saa ngapi, hata kama it's 9 p.m. in the night, and she will come all the way to Tawala and tell me, yeah, I'm here. Not to do anything, just to stay. You told me you're not okay, I'm here. And my family, who no matter what, no matter the distance, no matter they will always be there for me. And I think what I'm trying to say is when you're going through something, you're going through grief or anything, I think the people around you is what matters. People show you that life can still be life. Even if John is not there, we will still take care of you. We will still be there for you. And it's not like we're asking you to pay back for it. We are doing this because we still love you. Because you still matter in our lives. That has helped me a lot, actually, other than therapy and all the things that I do. But the friends I have, we actually last week, no, 2 weekends before, was his birthday on 12th October. It was John's birthday. They all came home. They traveled, they came home. And we did the birthday. We tulikata keki. And we planted flowers on the grave again for his birthday. We couldn't do that alone if it was me, Mom, and Dad, and Anita. We couldn't. But the fact that they were there and they came in big numbers, it means a lot. Also, my sister, who is not around, Grace, the one is in the US. She's always sending me up into grief group therapies and all that. But she's there for me. And she actually told me, you know, right now, you're not like our sister-in-law. Right now, you're our sister-brother. You're the brother who left that we are left with. So right now, me, I'm not taking care of you like you're my sister right now. And she really does do that. Even in her distance, she really do take good care of me. She always call me, we cry for like 3 hours and then life moves on. So God blessed me with both sides good parents. My in-laws are the best. My mother-in-law, she's the best. My dad is also the best. We were actually with him yesterday. He came to Nairobi. They're actually the best. And also my sister Anita. We've gone through a lot with her because during that period of burial, she left from the main house and she was sleeping with me in my other house, their house outside. The whole time for like over 4 months or 5 months, she left the main house and slept with me. So I think people around you matter a lot. Not even me being strong, people around you matters a lot. Things I've done for fun since then. We've gone to national parks with Timo, who is here for free, just to have fun. We've attended now and then a lot of events. Many of them sponsored by Timo. So it's a bit. We've done a lot of things fun since then, and also meeting up with friends, playing games. It breaks me from the normal routine of waking up, sleeping, eating, waking up, sleeping, and eating. Yeah. John Macharia, as everybody, not everybody knows him. He was not just a military man. He was very gentle, which is not normal. People think they are not gentle. He was extremely gentle, the most romantic guy ever, because some actions I didn't think he can do, and very joyful in person. Other than that, very respectful person. The fact that he supported most of my dreams and he was ready to finance most of my dreams. He actually told me, I'm going to pay for your masters. This year was to do masters. I think I have to do it now because he told me I have to fight. You know, you remember initially when I was telling you, he said, I'm going to invest in you so that we can become what we want to be through you. It was all in his plan. He was to take me through that masters. He's not planning to change a thing about him, but he's planning to change a thing about you so that you can change his life. And be what? Because he told me, through your masters, ukifanya your masters, you'll be able to buy me the lorry. Kuna lorry inaitwa Mahewa, ile mguu sita. Ukifanya hiyo masters utaweza kununulia Mahewa, niachane na hii kazi, nianze kufanya kazi ya transportation. Yeah. So that was him. He has taught me a lot of lessons. Then the levels he has, the classes he has in life. He was very humble. You wouldn't know if you met him right now. And the things I'm talking about, you wouldn't think that's him. They're two different people. Very respectful and very kind in person. And these are not things people just say because he's not there anymore. Very authentic. He was exactly that. Even in his troubles and things that is going through his mind, some things I share with my mom right now, my mom-in-law, I tell him about all the, wait, what? That was happening, you wouldn't know. Because his problems were not your problems. He'll deal with it and still put a smile on his face. And still assure you in your problems, you will be okay. Even though he's going through things in his head. I will say, because people die every single day, you don't need your strength at that moment. You just need to live a day at a time. It is not easy, and nobody should tell you it is easy. It is not. Because some of the things that made me want to just don't want to leave is the fact that I'm thinking that how is my dad feeling? How is my mom feeling? How are my siblings? I was actually telling each and every the moment I met my siblings through that time of grief, I was holding my sister and I'm telling her, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that you have to go through this because of me bringing John into your life. And sometimes people will tell me, no, Acha. Most of the time I tended to forget that I have also lost because I was feeling pain for the next person. I was asking myself, how is mom feeling? He has lost a son. And then somebody told me, you've also lost a baby. So you've lost a baby and a husband. Start thinking about yourself. So go easy on yourself. It's not easy at all. I swear to, and nobody should tell you it will get easier. It doesn't get easier. You just live with it.